Oh, welcome back to day 12 of our DIY custom van high top build. So we're taking our Ford E350 Super Duty cargo van that's been a camper van for a decade, but it had a standard roof on it. We cut the roof off, we're raising the roof, we're getting up there. I've gone up 36 inches, gives us actual functional extra 32 or so inches inside. It's fantastic. Today we're finishing up the roof. And that'll be the last of our immediate outside projects, other than getting a good coat of paint on the outside or two. And then we're going to be on to some inside projects, like we need to get windows in, of course, and we need to get some insulation, and we need to start an interior build because we gutted the inside so we can completely redo the interior, because when you have a high top, you have all kinds of different options for how you do your layout and set up your van. Melanie's up there finishing up the last of some roofing screws going in to our roof, and I'm going to be trimming off some sheet metal around the edges here. We brought it over. It's a little bit too long for the trim piece that we're putting along on the edges to tidy it up nicely and completely water seal everything very well. So I'll be working on that. Melanie's finishing up top, and then we'll be on to some inside projects, but probably not today. We're going to be happy today if we can just finish up the roof. So we wrap this roofing sheet metal here over the edge on both sides, and the idea for that is we're going to put a piece of trim on here, again, of roofing trim to seal everything up. But the idea is, and we'll seal this where the trim goes down, but if any water does get under there, we want to make sure it rolls over, and this folded over flashing, you can see here, the folded over roofing carries it onto the sidewall where it can run down to the ground and doesn't get into the roof. So this is what we don't want, is for water to be able to get in between the plywood here and get into the structure of the high top. So that's why we have this over. I'm trimming it off, you can see my marks here, because we actually went more than what we need for the trim we're putting on. So we wanted, the trim we're putting on is 1 inch on the side and it's like 2 inches on top. So we need to trim this up. So I marked these at 3/4 inch, and we're trimming them all down so that it'll be hidden behind the trim, and everything will look nice and clean and tidy when we're done with it. Of course, this might be a good time to note that I had in the back of my mind when we were putting this roofing on that the trim we were putting on was 2 inches by 2 inches. Turns out it's 2 inch by 1 inch, and there's a lip that we need on the 1 inch side, which is what we need on the side of the van here. So if I'd remember that, I might have cut it a little tighter on the roofing, and I might have less trimming to do right now, but it's all right. It'll be done. It'll work. So well, it's after 5, and that must mean it's quitting time, right? Well, it's going to be quitting time for us today on the 12th day of this high top build. We've basically finished up the roof. We'll do a little sealing still tomorrow or the day after. I got a little bit of trim on the front here we got to still do, and we got to trim the corners in. But other than that, the roof's going to be done. Awesome. And we've been being entertained today by, I don't know if you can really see him here, but the amorous pronghorn over here. There's a buck and a doe, and they've been, you know, doing their rutting thing all day long. He's chasing her around. She's running along, you know, playing hard to get, making him work for it. So anyway, that's been our entertainment today, is the critters doing their thing. But we appreciate you guys following along with this build. If you want to see the entire thing, we'll have a link in the description for the playlist for the entire build series for the high top. We're almost done with the outside. We're gonna, I think the next day we work on this, so day 13 will be just some wrapping up some trim, wrapping up this piece. Yep, where is it? There we go. Finishing up this piece, wrapping up some trim on the outside, and then it'll be like windows and insulation and stuff. But that'll probably hold off while we get started on the interior build, and we'll get that done so that we, or at least get it started so we know where we're putting things. Then we know where we want windows and stuff before we start putting insulation and have to take it back out, all that. So in any case, we really appreciate you following along with this series. We hope you're finding it interesting, entertaining, informative, helpful, all those other good sort of things. And we're going to wrap it up for a day, and we'll call day 12 done. We appreciate you following along. We'll catch you in the next video, everybody.